All right, guys, today we're checking out the HiKNIGHT GTX1 mini electric dirt bike. All right, so like I said, we're reviewing a lot of these 48-volt mini electric dirt bikes on the channel, and the HiKNIGHT is the most recent one, the GTX1. I haven't really seen a lot of chatter about this bike. It looks like the wheelbase is longer than the usual mini electric dirt bike. I like how the battery is positioned. It's more like a horizontal mounting position. That should help with the balance and the geometry. Anyway, let's go through all the features. So the first thing we got are these 14-inch off-road tires, and then 12-inch in the back. We also got moto-style hydraulic disc brakes, nice thick rotor, front fender. We got the number plate. We also have some decals, kind of a black, gray, red colorway. Let's turn the bike on. So ignition switch is right here in the center. You have a front suspension fork, pretty standard. I do like how the handlebars have a bit of a rise to it. It definitely feels wider than other mini electric dirt bikes. Standard rubber grips. You got a left mounted color LCD display. It's an ID6 display. You'll notice that it is in park mode, so the only way to get into the riding modes is by hitting the brake lever. I did disconnect the left brake sensor just because we like to have this thing disengaged when we practice wheelies, but the front one is connected, so in order to get to the riding modes, you do have to just pull this lever, and there you go. And then you have 3 riding modes, 1, 2, 3, full twist throttle. And you also have this thing over here, which is a kill switch. So if you pull that out, basically the bike doesn't turn off, but it does disable the throttle, right? You can connect this to like a lanyard or something. Nice safety feature. I've never seen this before. I really like this saddle seat. You have a bit of a dip over here. It just feels a lot longer than other mini electric dirt bikes, and it goes all the way to the top of the tire or the middle. The battery is located underneath the saddle, and there's also a key lock over here. So to access the battery, you turn the key, lift the saddle up. So the battery is situated over here. You have an on-off switch. You also have a button over here to see how much battery life you have. And like I said, I love how it's mounted horizontally like this. Really, really nice. In terms of specs, the battery is a 48-volt, 21-amp-hour battery. You'll also notice that we have a chain drive, almost like a direct drive. And we have a 45-tooth sprocket over here. So 45-tooth is not a ton of torque, right, off the line. Going to be a much smoother power delivery on the low end, but it should be enough to get the wheel up if you do want to practice wheelies. We also have a rear suspension shock with the preload adjustment. And if you wanted to, you could probably swap this out if you wanted to upgrade it pretty easily. Here's a look at the moto-style rear hydraulic disc brakes. And then for the motor, we have a 2,000-watt peak mid-drive motor. I'm not quite sure what controller this is. It does sound like a far driver, so maybe we can tune this up. And the total weight of the HiKNIGHT is 114.6 pounds. So now that we've gone over all the features, let's take it out for its first ride.
3, 2, 1. This is going to be the downhill test. Off to a strong start there. 25 mile an hour already. Almost to 30. Oh, come on. I know you want to hit 30. Come on, go a little faster. Oh, come on. All right, we're about to hit a big downhill section. Hopefully it hits 30. Man, oh, there it goes. I seen it hit 30 for a second. It wants it. It's actually slowing down the hill. Oh my God. It must be limited or something because it gives up at some point. But pretty good, pretty good. Took off pretty good. Uphill top speed test. The HiKNIGHT in 3, 2, 1. Solid start. Again, yeah, it takes off pretty good. Getting up to 20. Not bad. Definitely quick enough. I'm about 145, 150 pound rider, so tugging me along the hill, or tugging me, oh, pause. Can't put that in there. It's pulling me up the hill. It's pulling me up the hill pretty good. You know, all the way up to its top speed, even uphill. What more can you say about that? Yeah, solid bike. I love the suspension on this bike too. It's very cushy. And it feels kind of stable. to where a lot of these shorter wheelbase, really small bikes that feel kind of twitchy. This one feels very stable.
All right, guys, first ride with the HiKNIGHT GTX1 mini electric dirt bike. This is what I look like. 30-inch inseam, obviously fits me. Once you turn on the bike, you do have to hit the brake sensor to get into the riding modes. We disengaged the left brake sensor, but we left the right one in just so we can access the modes. Anyway, let's start on power level 1 and see how that feels. Very smooth ramp up, very smooth throttle. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not super strong, but you know, good enough if you're just cruising along. I like the geometry of this bike. It's very easy to maneuver. Feels like I have a lot of room on the saddle seat. So I could kind of like, you know, be a little more forward or back depending on how I like to ride. That's pretty cool. Let's bump it up to power level 2 now. Still a very smooth ramp up, but obviously more torque off the line. I love the sound of the motor. The sound of the motor is really cool. Suspension feels really good. We'll have Sully do like a proper off-road ride, but... All right, let's bump it up to power level 3 now. Power level 3. And hitting about 42 kilometers. Yeah. So definitely has some good torque, and then the top speed kind of levels out at around maybe 30. But really, that's all you need on a bike like this. Woo! Very cool. Now let's just see how the brakes feel. Brakes feel really good. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm digging this bike. It's very similar to the 48-volt mini electric dirt bikes that we reviewed in the past. But something about, I think, the longer wheelbase makes it feel just a little bit easier to ride. It feels more planted on the ground. It feels like a longer bike, obviously. But yeah, I think the geometry and the design of the frame is really, really nice. So let's just test out the balance on this thing. Very easy to bring the wheel up and find your balance point. I am on power level 2. Let's try that again. Oh yeah. Yeah, the geometry just feels really, really good.
Alright, so we're here with the HiKNIGHT GTX1. We're going to give it a couple rips around the lot here, check out all the different modes, and see how it wheelies. So, yeah, let's start with 1. Alright, so 1, definitely not torquey, definitely not fast, but it's definitely smooth. And it gets you moving pretty quick. It says I'm doing 18 on the dash, but I don't know how accurate that is to actual speed. That's kilometers, see? So, probably like 15 mile an hour right here, 14 mile an hour, something like that in first. It's pretty good. So let's go up to 2 now. Let's go around this building here. Okay, so now we're in 2. Yeah, see, now it's picking up the front suspension. Definitely a lot more torque, even up in the 15 mile an hour range. You can feel it keep pulling, and it's really lifting up the suspension there. So let's go to 3. So 3 will pull up the wheel if you comes close enough to a stop. Just from the crack of the throttle, that's pretty good, pretty powerful for a little bike like this. So yeah, let's try some wheelies with it real quick. I think it's only right to start with a knee knock on this one. So let's try that again. I think I got a better one than that. Just wasn't aligned. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. All right, let's try to sit down now. Oh, we need more oomph. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely not super like powerful, but it's got a little kick down below, so it really does help in picking it up, but it's not like powerful enough to be doing like a 15-mile-an-hour wheelie, like going 15 and then pop it up. Definitely gonna have to slow down or do it when you come to a stop sign or something, but let's try a seat stander on this thing. I have not done that yet, so. Oh yeah, seat stander feels pretty good. The brakes work really good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this bike, but it feels very planted. It feels very flat. I don't know if we just let out too much air in the rear tire or what. Is there a lot of air out on the rear tire? This bike wheelies very well for what it is. It definitely could use a little bit more power, but that's what we say about every bike. But no, it's definitely enough to learn how to wheelie. Definitely a very comfortable bike to ride. And out the box, it comes with everything you need. A slightly grippy seat. Could be a little better, but it's still pretty grippy compared to some. And some really good brakes.
So let's recap the specs. The HiKNIGHT GTX1 runs on a 48-volt, 21-amp-hour battery paired with a 2,000-watt peak, mid-drive motor, and a chain-drive setup. That combination delivers a top speed of about 28 miles per hour with up to 45 miles of range, depending on terrain, rider weight, and power mode. It comes with a full-twist throttle, a left-mounted color display, and a magnetic kill switch for safety. A front headlight and front and rear fenders round out the basics. For control, the GTX1 has a front suspension fork, a rear monoshock, and moto-style hydraulic disc brakes for solid stopping power. It rides on 14-inch front and 12-inch rear off-road tires. The large moto-style saddle seat makes it feel like a pit bike, and total weight comes in at around 115 pounds.
So I noticed looking at the motor, there looks to be some type of maybe like reduction gear or something internal to the motor, because the pole of the motor is like off-centered. That's just different from what I'm used to. Maybe it's not, maybe it is direct drive, but let's try going up this hill here, flooring it. Yeah, I mean, you know, definitely not fast, like I said, but it definitely has plenty of torque to make it up these hills. It just doesn't have enough to keep going and maintain the speed that you start at. The suspension's taking the bumps pretty good. I mean, I'm a pretty heavy person for this bike, so it's, you know, it's not bottoming out, and it's taking all the bumps pretty good. Even the jumps, it didn't even bottom out, so that's pretty good. Let's go down the hill now. Oh yeah, really good. Definitely takes all the bumps. Little jump in there. It's a little electric pit bike. You can take it wherever you want with the full suspension. No issues. Tires grip up really good. Bottomed up the suspension there in the rear. So let's try the hill climb from a pretty close to a dead stop. 3, 2, 1. So like I said, right off the line, this thing has plenty of torque. And just going up the hills, it definitely has enough torque. It just doesn't go fast up the hill. Maybe that's just down to gearing. Maybe you could change the rear sprocket and get some more torque out of it. But yeah, I mean, going, you know, 15 mile an hour and jumping it, I mean, it doesn't even bottom out. So with a 150-pound rider with a younger kid, it would be perfect. So let's try some wheelies here. Really trusting them brakes, I love that. It's not too often you can say you trust a brake right out the box. It seems that companies though now are starting to get better and better with that. I'm starting to see more companies convert over to the moto style brakes. I mean, because A, they're cheaper, first of all. Second of all, why not?
HiKNIGHT GTX1. I like it. I really do. I wasn't sure what to expect. You know, you get all these 48 volt mini electric dirt bikes. You feel like they're all kind of the same, but I don't know. There's something really unique about this design specifically. Maybe because the battery is more horizontal, so the weight is distributed more across the frame over here. So when you get the wheel up, it doesn't feel so heavy in the front. Bars feel nice and wide. You're not going to get a ton of top speed, but you definitely get enough power to, you know, practice wheelies and things like that. When I turned on the bike, it does sound like there's a far driver controller. If you guys want us to try tuning it, let us know in the comments below. Could also do a controller swap, but honestly, I kind of like how it is. It feels really good just as is. This motor looks a lot bigger than some of the other mini electric dirt bikes we reviewed. This could probably be swapped out as well. Overall, for the price, for the parts that you get, I like it a lot. I really love how this thing handles and the geometry and the balance of it. HiKNIGHT GTX1, solid recommend.
So here's what we like. The HiKNIGHT GTX1 has solid power off the line that makes it easy to wheelie. The suspension keeps the ride smooth and comfortable, and the long wheelbase with good geometry adds to stability. But here's some things to consider. The 48-volt setup might feel a little tame for experienced riders. It's not street legal, and tall riders could find the frame too small and cramped. So what do you think of the HiKNIGHT GTX1? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.